we are. Hey everybody, welcome back for Beyond the Wall episode 4. Um, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, given where we ended off last week. Um, I don't know that Mare's going to experience a whole lot of it. Maybe she'll wake up, maybe she won't. I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to be fun to see what happens. Before we jump in, though, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters. Um, and then we'll pass it on over to Yaz to take it away. So starting top left, that's me. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, from voice acting, art, tabletop design, streaming, obviously, a bunch of other stuff. You can find out all about that at my link tree. Excuse me. Which is right there in chat. Also, something else to mention before I dive into my character. Our sponsors, Fundamental RPG and Intrepid. You can pre-order second edition of Fundamental RPG at coffee.com/raven/shop. Pre-order prices are good until the end of February, which is when the book should be coming out. And then Intrepid can be found at the same place. It is IRL adventuring gear, so athletic, outdoors, and casual wear that have like an adventure theme to them. It's pretty cool stuff. Also, I'll have more information and actual links here pretty soon, but you can check out all of our stuff here coming up, any past broadcasts on the Fantasy Network. So definitely go check that out. I desperately need to get the list of links together for that. Should have that probably by the end of the weekend. But until then, if you just Google the Fantasy Network, it should be like one of the first things that pops up.
There's some cool channels in that group. So
there really are really cool stuff. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, definitely go check us out there as well for past shows and episodes. And then, who I play in this game, I play Mare. So if you took DC's Raven and Scarecrow, had them have a child, who then grew up with a role model of Batman, that's pretty close to what Mare is, what you could expect. So very antisocial, gothic, and is absolutely convinced that she's the chosen one to save the world. She's a superhero. And then an angel showing up to confirm that, was just, absolutely confirmed all of her suspicions about her life. So that's Mare. She's currently asleep at the most inopportune time. So we'll find out what happens there. With that, I'm going to pass it on down to Paladin. Tell us a little bit about you and Tom.
First, do you have your backstory for this character written up? Like, when this whole thing is over, can I read that?
I don't have it written up, but I should do that, yeah. Because
okay.
I will do that. Because I think that would be very entertaining.
It sounds interesting.
Right.
Anywho, hi everybody, I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday, Little Red Dot, and I'm playing Tom Fan. I'm a ghost. I live in Detroit. I've been here for a lot of years. Hotting around, watching TV, reading books, the usual when you're a ghost. And me and my best buddy Joe, we're on an adventure into the world of darkness or dreams. It's dreams, but there's also darkness. But it's not the world of darkness, because that has vampires and we have angels. So it's different. And we're looking for food, and we're looking for, friendship. And I'm sure like the real thing that we're looking for was with us the whole time. Because that's how it goes.
Our friendship compels you.
Right.
I don't think we have food for the city. That was not with us the whole time.
No, not that, but friendship.
Fantastic. We'll pass it on over to Anina. Tell us a little bit about you and Faye.
Hi there, I'm Anina Kasky. I'm an actor and writer, and I have a YouTube channel where you can see my shenanigans. Bit of comedy, bit of drama, everything I've written and performed myself. Going on to YouTube and writing The Awkward Actress. A couple of days ago, I actually released a D&D themed sketch. So go and
it's good.
enjoy that.
I have watched it.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I recommend it.
Thank you.
Watch it. It's good.
yeah, the rogue one is seems to be everyone's favorite.
Yep.
Anyway, go and watch that. Actors playing D&D is the name of that sketch. And I play
really good,
Felier,
by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much. I play Felier, the archangel of all animals, and my mission is to make sure Mare finishes her mission and to protect her. And being the archangel of all animals, I don't really get humans. Yeah.
The character also seems to have a lot of bad luck with rolls, which is fun. So let's see if that continues into this week.
I got my butt kicked the entirety of last week's episode, basically.
So if anyone needs a gift of advantage, it is Felier.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That is very true.
But right now I am getting cuddles from another angel, so it's all good. And they're quite hot, so that's good. So yeah.
That is such evil laughter.
Yep.
God.
Also, I don't know, for some reason that just sounds like a fancy, expensive store like perfume or cologne or something like that, like Angelic Cuddles by, some celebrity.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Angelic Cuddles. It's slightly threatening as well, somehow.
Yeah.
Only if you know what angels are actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna force this love on you.
I literally have tears in my eyes from laughing so hard.
Yeah, it's like Angelic Cuddles. This is either gonna smell great or it's gonna be horrible. Not sure which. Let's roll the dice. Yeah.
Fire and destruction.
Anyways, we'll pass it on up to Hannah. Tell us a little bit about Joe and yourself.
Hi, I'm Hannah, or Whoa Hannah, wherever I am on the internet. I'm a creator. One day I'll put stuff out there. I today am playing Joe, who is a mechanic of sorts, is really not prepared to deal with all this nightmare shenanigans, and is in danger right now.
I'm in danger.
Exactly. Joe is that meme right now.
Yep.
That sounded like Sporky. I'm trash. No one else. So it's just me.
That's great.
All right.
And then tell us a little bit about this wonderful world and yourself, and take it away.
I have to stop laughing first. Beyond the Wall is inspired by a comic that I am illustrating, written by an incredible friend of mine, Cecilis. If you're interested in this world or in any of his work or future work, the chapters for this are available on Wattpad. You can find all of that through his Twitter, which I posted there in chat. Last episode, our characters kind of went through a volley of different things, falling into a glutton's banquet, pouring mercury into a Sears bowl, where hands started climbing out, running for their lives, and then finally meeting Azrael, or who they will eventually know as Azrael, who has met them in a graveyard, and has a kind of kinship with Felier. However, Felier does sorry, I'm so ADHD today. Felier doesn't know how she knows them, except that they are an angel, that they have familiarity, and that he calls her sister. Whether that is in the religious term of endearment or if it is familial, we are unsure at this time. And I would like to set the stage again in this decrepit, overcast, overgrown, falling apart graveyard where stones are so old that they're breaking and crumbling under the gentle force of ivy that has grown across everything. And all of you, except for Mare, who has chosen a very strangely inconvenient time to take a nap, are all hanging out when Felier has cast out this beacon and has summoned this angel who's touched down. Azrael, or this angel, sorry, you don't know his name yet, I shouldn't be using it, is standing before you, shrouded in many, many, many wings. And he does not appear to have hands or arms, but he does have discombobulated hands, mostly with hands closed, holding what looks like to be a green marble. And he has offered you all this marble, and he has told you, I can help you. I can help ease your suffering. And in a non subtle manner is offering you these marbles to help with the exhaustion and the tiredness. Now, before you get really more of a chance to react than Felier embracing this new angel, Mao is I assume either is probably standing next to Joe. And Mao has become unearthly quiet. And does anybody like pick up on that or respond to Faye or anything like that? I know Mare's still napping.
Do we respond to Mao? We usually don't notice her, so I think this is one of those moments.
Especially if she's just
extra
being
and
quiet.
not noticeable. Yeah, probably not. I think the angel is pretty distracting as well.
It is very distracting.
He did also specifically say you're hopeless and then look at me and I'm like,
Did he? I forgot him.
He did.
He said
Ouch.
some very heartbreakingly compassionate things.
That's mean.
So Azrael embraces Faye, calling her sister, and after your embrace, which is far more intimate than just two friends meeting, it's not like weird or sexual in any manner. There's a platonic intimacy between you, and he pulls you away, two of his hands out of the many, many hands that he has kind of holding onto your shoulders. Can I have you roll sharp, Anina?
Oh. First roll.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
we're off to a neutral start.
That was better than like zeros.
Oh gosh. Or rolling all sixes in a row.
Yeah. So you, like, as he's put his palms on you, it is clear that the palms of his hands don't, like, the pressure against your shoulders or your shirt or your skin doesn't feel right. There is a seam in his hand that is not a human thing. And you would kind of pick up on that, but you wouldn't really like visually notice anything else. So he pulls you apart, or apart from him and kind of gives you that friendly, compassionate squeeze. And he has the most mournful expression on his face. And you are again reminded of that melancholy and grief that he first instilled in you when he touched down. And he says, "It has been so long. What has brought you back to me?" And you can see as he says that there is more warmth to his face, a smile at the corner of his lips.
So this slightly inhuman thing I sense, would I know that angels don't have it?
You would know that you don't have it.
I don't. Okay.
You do not know if it is something common or uncommon.
I just don't know. Okay. So I'm confused. Okay. Felier would respond and she says, "I'm here to guide her," and I point to Mare. "We have a mission.
You're just over there in the corner, snoring.
This is where he told me to go. Is it the right place?"
Azrael looks at you but doesn't answer your question. And as his eyes settle on Mare, he disconnects from you. And kind of like glides in a shuffling of feathers, like things visually do not make sense about him. His wings move in ways that wings aren't supposed to move. Feathers seem to float around him, vanishing and reappearing. And everything seems to be in a constant motion, like a circular motion, pivoting around his body in some manner. And he begins to take steps towards Mare. And at this time, you hear a really shrill sound from Mao, who usually is fairly confident and belligerent, but instead is more or less like squeaking. And when you take the time to like look or questioningly look at Mao, you can tell that she's paralyzed in fear to this spot. Her hands are clenched. She's shaking. She is attempting to say something, but she is so scared that she cannot get the words out and is instead squeaking at you.
I'll very subtly put myself in between him and Mare, but try and make it look casual.
I'll also stand next to her.
I'm gonna like just put a hand on Mao's shoulder and like try and look her in the eye.
She's trembling and she will not take her eyes off of Azrael. Mare,
That's
would you?
why, Faye's blocking that. She can't look at Azrael because Faye's
I
in
think
the way.
phase between Mare and Azrael.
I'm between Mare and Azrael.
Mao's terrified.
Oh, okay.
M names.
I know, I'm so sorry about that.
Confusing. No, it's all good. Okay, in that case, I will get in between Azrael and Mao.
Okay. Mare, are you a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper?
I feel like Mare would be a heavy sleeper. But if anybody like called her name out or like threw something at her, I'm sure she'd wake up.
Does
Hint,
anybody take the opportunity to wake Mare up at all?
I mean,
She's
Faye's closest
fine.
to her.
I'll just stand in front of her because I'm just trying to seem casual, nonchalant as an angel can.
Faye, can I have you roll charm?
Yes. Which is not a high stat for me to do. Come on, guys.
Also,
More level up opportunities.
I blame Mal for Mare being a heavy sleeper because she had to learn to just sleep through noise.
Okay.
Valid. All right. So
My bard character when I need her. When I need high charisma.
Azrael stops moving forward. You like your body language has spoken volumes to him. And he relaxes his, I mean, relax being a subjective word for something that's always in a state of motion. But relaxes kind of like his primary figure. Wings settling around him. You notice almost like a gentle glow, or like that melancholy comfort comes back to all of you. And he says, what you're seeking is impossible, but with my help I can show you a better world. I can take you to a place where none of you will hurt anymore. And this time he's going to turn to Tom, and he says, a place where you can rest and have what it is that you need or desire. Surely fighting for something that doesn't exist any longer is tiring. And again, he offers his hand out with this marble that you can see glowing between his fingers.
I'm not really into marbles. I'm gonna
It's like a
edge closer to
gumball.
Joe.
I'll Faye types in and says, "Thank you, brother, but my quest is not over yet. I will see you soon."
You say that, and there is like the air trembles. Mare, I'm gonna have you roll sharp for me.
Yay!
Whew. We were having a cuddle 5 minutes ago. God damn it.
Yay!
Yay!
I
This
assume this means I'm awake.
Yes, this aura or vibe that pulses out, trembling the air. Like, Tom, it's almost like the lowest note on a stringed instrument being plucked, the way that everything just sort of shifts and vibrates. And you definitely get like the sensation of something malicious washing over you. And this all together, Mare, you wake up to. You're like, ooh, I got chills and goosebumps.
But are they multiplying?
I kind of imagine Mare like jerking awake, like very violently sitting up, pulling out her whip, and shouting out the most weird thing to come out of Mare's mouth. She's just like, Pinkie Pie! And looking around.
What did he say?
Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie. Oh my
goodness.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
The truth come out.
Yep. And then just kind of realizing what she just said and just saying, none of you heard anything. Wait, who are you? Looking at Azrael. Very confused.
I'll just sort of hold my hand up to the side. It's Mare.
So as you're awaking and asking this question, something dawns on you, and you realize that Azrael's lips have never moved until now since talking with you guys. And his lips peel up impossibly wide into a smile, almost like the skin stretching in a manner that is not realistic or absurd in that way. Like there is a wrongness, like a snake's jaw about to unhinge. And all of the hands and all of the feathers and wings begin to pendulum around him, wings flaring out. And he says to Faye, you do not get to speak of me to me of your quests and your deeds, for I am an archangel and you are the dirt on the bottom of my boot. And he holds his hands up, holding the marbles between his thumb and his fingertip. And now you can tell what the seam in all of his palms are as these mouths in his palms begin to open, showing teeth and tongues spilling out of them. And he says, if you will not be inspired to come to my side, then I shall make your world more miserable than it already is. At this point, Mao has somehow managed to shake free of her paralysis, has backpedaled into Joe, and like a full-on coward, has started booking it.
Mare,
Away.
Mare
Mao is running.
would like
Okay.
to do something because Mare's an idiot, and this angel has insulted her new angel friend, and
All right.
that's not nice. That's
No.
bad guy talk. And her being a superhero, of course, can't let that just slide.
Being mean is illegal.
Yep. We learned that bullying is wrong, and this seems an awful lot like bullying. So yeah, she's going to. I'll leave it up to you mechanically which one it is. It could be the big entrance, or I could just roll weird. But she just wants to like go full nightmare mode on this angel.
I think I am going to have you roll weird for that.
Okay.
You are absolutely successful. Oh, it came through. You're still successful. I got the notification that you had rolled before it appeared on my timeline.
Oh, wild.
So yeah, she just does the whole smoke and bats thing, and her voice gets really like, I mean, she's already got a deep voice, but it gets even deeper and just like booming, and talks about making this angel's life miserable and full of nightmares if he wasn't GTFO.
So your darkness becomes contagious. It infects the entire area around you, plunging Mao, who is several yards away from you, and the rest of you into a pitch dark fog. And all you can see in the darkness is the swirling mass that Mare has become, and the sick lime green illumination from Azriel's hands and the marbles that he's holding. And almost in a way, he doesn't seem humanoid anymore. A large portion of him is incredibly incorporeal in the way that he moves and falls like liquid matter, moving and surging against Mare's magic and realizing that he might not be able to touch her yet, and instead turning towards Joe.
Ooh.
We should run.
Also,
I want to say
insert,
something, but I'll wait if someone else wants to do something first.
at this point, with everything turning dark, also insert similar to but legally distinct from Bane's darkness speech from there.
I
It's
love it.
just ongoing through whatever happens next.
Faye's gonna start turning, and she's gonna start to look more like she's several different animals all at once. So you'll see like a bit of snake scale, you'll see fur, you'll see eyes, you'll see teeth, and she becomes this ever morphing beast. And in a language none of our humanish friends will understand, I will say to Angel Dude, because I don't know his name in game, I'm going to say, you may be older than me, but I too am an archangel. I am not beneath you.
His voice travels almost like from the center of your chest. And you get the sensation of hands gently cupping your face. And all you hear is remember the mirrors. Remember the mirrors. Are you guys running or attacking? Mare and Faye, you seem to be ready for action. Joe, Tom?
I was kind of Joe's a bit transfixed probably. Like I don't really know what's gonna happen. So he's just suddenly looked at her and Joe is like deer in the headlights.
Mhm. And I'm urging you to run. So you're still frozen?
I want to see what Angel does.
Okay. I am gonna try to get you to move. So I'm gonna like grab your shoulders and turn you away from him, and then give you a nudge. Run, run, run!
Run.
And nuts.
Like is the angel going to do something, or are we waiting on me?
The angel is currently preoccupied with Faye.
Okay. In that case, I'll probably leave your piece.
Okay, cool. So you're running in the dark. You can hear Mao ahead of you scrambling over objects and rock and dirt. You can hear her flipping out, like absolutely panic attack, trying to get out of this area. You cannot see anything. You can only hear things now. Mare, I believe that brings us to you. What would you like to do?
So Mayor's definitely taking the the superhero type stance of like, I'm not going to like kick your butt unless you make me, kind of a thing, but you need to back off. It's kind of the stance that she's taking. So is he still messing with Faye, or like what's he doing?
Yes, this is it's all within the second of him turning and acknowledging Faye and her what I'm sure he assumes is a temper tantrum.
Okay.
Not to antagonize my players or anything.
Oh, so he's going, "Aw,
Yeah.
pat, pat, pat."
Did I upset you?
Then I think Mayor's gonna attack, like with magic, and what I'd like to do, if this is possible, is get in this thing's head, and speaking of Mirror, turn his tactics and everything back on himself.
It is, I can tell you now, it is not going to go the way you expect.
I'm sure, but that's what Mayor's wanting to do. 'Cause, like,
I'm warning you.
Okay, so
Yeah, like that's her normal tactic, is like, okay, if somebody's being, bullying
scary.
or scary or trying to intimidate someone, it's this is where the scarecrow part of her comes in. It's like you just turn that fear back on themselves. So that's what she's trying to do.
Okay, I am
It's her
going
playbook.
to need you to roll both weird and
This is definitely
um
one of those moments where I'm like,
cool.
I know this is a bad idea. Mare has no
Okay.
freaking clue.
I need you to roll weird and cool.
We love to see
So
it.
there's weird, and here's cool.
Oh yeah.
Do I use a luck for this one?
just don't die. Just whatever you do.
Think of the level ups.
Yes. How bad is the cool?
It's
Failing?
gonna be really bad.
Okay, let's
I'm
use a luck.
sorry. I try
Aw.
not to allow you guys to metagame, but this is really on in the game.
Yeah, no.
I'm so excited. When is
alright,
it Joe's turn to get messed up?
Oh, I'll get there.
Never.
I'm using a luck. So this brings my fate into play, and reminder of my fate tags are magical powers, you can save the world, a nemesis, and no normal life. Which I
Okay.
mean, no normal life Mayor's kind of
A
come to terms
nemesis?
with.
Okay,
But
I'm
still.
gonna think about that. Let me come back to what happens in regards to this. Give me a second. Let's talk about what Faye does.
Absolutely. Just one quick suggestion. Feel
Yeah.
free to ignore it. I think it'd be great if this became her nemesis.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong.
Do with that what you will.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
All right.
Does fit the Raven
So,
part.
Mare has begun this nightmare magic where it's like Raven status of glowing black eyes and swirling magical nether whatever. And you are Faye, you are given the opportunity to attack or do whatever it is that you want to do.
Do I have an emotional reaction to remember the mirrors?
That's a good question. Roll cool for me.
And if so, what? Great.
Take that XP.
My character dies in episode.
Okay, so he says
Total party wipe.
This is why we're running.
This is not how I designed this game, guys.
We are running. Well, I mean, Tom and I are running.
Mhm.
So Faye, you are he says remember the mirrors to you, and almost like you being shocked awake, you're suddenly standing in a different world. Not really, you're having a vision.
Yeah.
Faye doesn't actually disappear from setting, but you seem to be not standing any longer but sitting in a hospital bed. You know that you feel mortal. You're covered in bandages. You're wearing a hospital gown with tiny little blue paisleys on it. Your hair, which now is a mousy, or in this vision is a mousy brown, is unkempt, tangled, and too long for you and a bit greasy. You can taste the salt from tears, and the iron scent of blood is still very prevalent in the room. And it's like being pulled up out of water for just a moment, and then you are plunged back into your world, and you can see these flickering reflections as you're being rushed back to your body, of yourself standing in front of a mirror. Feel it like, and the expression that you can see is just grief and emotional atrophy and decay. And that's all you're able to piece together is you're rushed and snapped back into this place. Joe and Tom Fan, you guys are running. Can I also have you roll to keep your cool in this supernatural darkness?
That makes sense to me.
I don't like the darkness. I don't like the darkness.
Hannah,
Hey, I'm Fawn's cool, everybody. Woo!
yeah.
Joe is not.
Joe, you are whether it is the darkness or the sounds of Mare having a really terrible panic attack, or the fact that all of these emotions together are bringing back this friend that you've lost, this trauma. and whatever it is, but you are like overcome with this wave of grief. It is so heavy and so hard that it almost drags you down to your knees. You would not be able to fight back tears if there are tears or whatever emotional responses that you have with that. Tom, you're okay. This darkness doesn't feel supernatural to you. This darkness just feels like night has fallen. And as you kind of get a grasp on your sense, you can begin to see the graveyard that you were in. You guys are very close to the short, like 2-foot tall wrought iron fence that marks the outside of this graveyard and the forest beyond. And you can even see the moon rising above the trees, which nobody else can. And this fills you with peace.
Can I see Mao?
You can see Mao. Mao is curled up in the fetal position next to a gravestone, clinging to it for dear life, and the air around her is rippling in an incredibly strange way.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to her and I'm gonna try to attack her to take away all the bad feelings. So the normal draining attack that I do, I'm gonna focus it on that part of her. That's
Okay.
the plan.
Can you roll for that? Jesus, stuttering.
Would you like me to roll tough or weird?
Let's do weird. Yeah, it
seems
is weird.
So that's a really cool way to use that ability, by the way.
I know.
Okay, so I think she takes damage, but I think I also really succeed at taking away her fear.
Okay, let me readdress that in just a second because there's gonna be a little extra on there.
Ooh.
Mayor, let's
Yeah.
handle this. Sorry for making you wait. I needed to come to terms with a few things.
No, you're totally fine. I'm fully expecting Mare to get just absolutely wrecked from this, but she's the superhero, so she got to do the superhero thing.
Okay. So you plunge into this archangel's mind, and it's like at first looking through a flip book of faces, people that have taken this green marble, and it is several repeating. It's always the same, the green marble and the I got distracted, sorry.
Yeah, we've leveled up from cats
Thank
to
you.
people.
Pets. Mordecai, come on. Sorry, lunch delivery.
You're good.
So it's this flip book of people that have taken this marble, and the flip book begins to disintegrate like film in that gets too hot in one of the old cameras, where it bubbles and burns, and suddenly you are standing on in a white like planescape. You're filled with light, but at the same time this heavy grief that has overcome most of your party members. And you see a reflection of yourself.
Okay.
And this would be you searching for this thing's nightmare, or whatever it is that you are trying to use against it.
Yeah, which is basically just whatever feelings he's trying to impose on others, just having those feelings imposed right back on him. Is kind of what she's looking for.
An Uno reverse card.
Yeah, pretty much. Or a reflect spell, if you will.
Yeah.
But so she ends up in this just like blank white space with a reflection of herself. Then
Correct. What do you do with yourself? Like,
Mare just takes this as a sign that this thing is actually terrified of her. And that must be the logical reason for why she is showing up here when she's looking for this thing's nightmares. Because she's not the brightest at the moment.
Fair. That's fair.
um, and so she just keeps doing the whole, like, boo thing. You know?
All right. So you continue to attempt to scare, like you do your nightmare fuel, and as your magic is working, you can feel the aura of things changing, but what you see is this doppelganger of yours uh appears in clothing that you would have worn before taking on your persona. And almost like being like that TikTok video transition of being snapped out,
Yeah.
suddenly you're standing there as a young girl, before your grandeurs, before your coping mechanisms kicked in, and you see this child just crumple before you, and she looks up at you, this reflection of your past self, and says, "You can't hide from me forever." And in almost like hands slamming down on a table, you are ejected from Azriel's mind, and Azriel recoils from you. Felier, this is the part where you're snapping back. Is you see Azriel roll back. The darkness is no longer that surreal. Not quite Tom Fan, okay, but like you can begin to see the outlines of things. You know where people are, and you see Azriel recoil, and he reels for a minute. You are given the opportunity to attack or do something as you're coming back from this
Okay.
vision.
Okay. In that moment of when I was having images in my mind, my sort of beastly figure would have dropped and I look more human with my wings out still. And I will try and signal to Mare, we just need to go. We need to go. But with my body language, I'm trying to appear very small, very helpless, sort of like a wolf would show submission. Like, okay, backing away now.
Mare, I think, um, the best way to describe it would really be, looks like somebody who's just had a PTSD flashback. Um, so she's struggling to quickly reassociate with what's around her. Um, having been like temporarily sort of teleported back to a different mental state from when she was younger. But I think she, especially with spending a luck, I think she'll shake it off relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And just look at this thing like a mixture of respect for like how strong it is, um, and a little bit of caution, but also this like slight little smirk on her face, like seeing him recoil and being like, "Ooh, I found a chink. I could exploit that if I figure out how." Is kind of what's on her face. So it's like this respect for like you could seriously mess me up, but also I landed a hit kind of a thing. Um, but she's definitely going to be more focused on once she snaps out of it, getting everybody out of there, and just being like, okay, we're going away now. You go away, or we're gonna throw hands again. Kind of a uh, body language. Um, so she'll go down to wherever Faye is and try to like start helping Faye get away. But before they do start running, she'll just like look back at this angel and do the whole like pointing at her eyes and then him like like I see you.
Okay.
Don't even try it.
So let's hop back to Joe.
Joe is on the ground.
You can roll Cooligan to see if you're able to snap out of it. The effects are definitely not as strong with Azrael recoiling. They're like normality is beginning to soak back into your environment.
Yeah, I guess I'll roll cool again to see how Joe's doing, because better, apparently.
Much better. The panic attack has gotten like you've reached the crest of your panic attack. You can breathe and move again, and there feels like a lightness that has sort of like the weight has been pulled off of you some. It still hurts and you're still grieving, but you are able to stand again.
Yeah, Joe's definitely like grabbing at the spot where there's the inner pocket on the inside of her jumpsuit, where she put the picture before, and she's kind of like trying to get back to her feet. And also Tom's gone to go talk to Mao or something, so she's like, oh god, where am I?
You are able to see the outlines of figures now.
Okay.
As you're coming back to an okay place, visibility is slowly becoming better. You can see where Tom and Mao are, and you've seen Tom reach out and attack Mao.
I didn't punch her. It's.
I don't know how you attacked Mao, whether it was like psychic magic or if you actually like tried to corporeally slug
It's
her.
all psychic draining
Okay.
through touch. So
Perfect. So you have done this attack on Mao, and the effect is different. Mao lashes out from her panic attack. Like it's like a hard switch from fear to immediate anger, and that air that was rippling around her tears apart for just a moment as these inky black tentacles like appear out of these rips in the seam of her reality and just like towards you. And as like her eyes have bled black, her hands have become inky and black, and she comes at you with claws, and just as she is about to grab the front of your ghostly lapels, which she probably would actually be able to properly grab, she stops and like shocks herself back into reality and takes like an awkward, hard swallow and smooths her hands across her shaven head and gives you a shaky breath, and she says, thanks, I think, and just becomes quiet again and sort of like awkward.
okay, sorry. We gotta keep moving. And I'll point to the fence thing, and then I'll go check on Joe.
Mao just nods and like does her duty and crawls over the fence. Now we'll hop back to Mare and her experience with this angel. You're helping Faye, and in this time, Azrael is kind of is still recoiling to the point that he almost appears to look like he's kind of pulling apart at the seams. And but what that does is more or less begin to reveal more about him. But he is preoccupied with coming undone. And so you and Faye are able to do what it is that you please.
I was just saying this in chat as well. I feel Mare feels so much like an anime trope right now, where it's like, oh, I just got one hit in on a god, so I am just the most badass, completely ignoring the fact that that could have easily gone way bad. So I feel like she's feeling cockier than she should right now,
Oh God.
but is still, you know, ignoring the baddie and trying to get her friends to safety.
Okay.
Um,
I was like, we're gonna have a talk.
no, she's
No,
she's
you're
not
good.
she's
And I
not
kid.
like trying to attack again or anything like that. I just feel like this is not the best thing for her superhero delusions.
Yeah,
Um,
ego.
Delusions. What?
yeah,
I hit him and it worked.
yeah. I feel like she's
Um,
gonna have a big head after this. That's gonna cause her problems later on.
Sounds great.
Faye's gonna. She's still shaky and looking the shakiest she's ever looked. Really, she looks quite small and is a bit ungraceful, which is something she usually isn't. And she flaps her wings out, and I try and grab Mare, and I try and get us. I'm gonna try. And if I can use this like this, use angel wings and get us to where Tom and Joe are.
Yes, I will allow that.
So roll for angel wings, I'm guessing.
I think so.
I think last time you had her do tough to carry Mare.
Yeah. Let me read it real quick.
angel wings the ability.
I know. Which is why I was like,
I'll roll whatever.
roll for it. Lay on hands. Where is it? Angel wings. Okay. Yes, you can roll your angel wings ability.
Here we go. Come on. Yes.
Perfect. You done it. So you are able to scoop Mare up however it is that you wish and rejoin your fellows and GTFO of this
Yeah.
cemetery. Joe, Tom is coming back for you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll like sort of stop in front of you and pick you up. You okay? Gotta
What?
go?
No, don't. I'm fine. I'm fine. You don't have to. Where are we going?
That way.
Okay. Let's go then.
And I'll fly in front of you and I'll just go through the fence. And then I'll stop and wait to see how you'll get over.
I guess we're climbing a fence.
You don't need to roll for it. The fence is probably like mid-thigh length high. It's not very tall. You can just step over it.
Okay. Wait. Are Mare and Felia coming? Like,
Probably see me towards you.
okay, guess that's a yes.
I think that's her.
So you guys are able to cross the fence and with kind of Mao looking a little bit more put together, Mao will take Joe's hand while Faye and Mare are flying and Tom is following and plunge you into the forest. And the moment that you cross the threshold of these brambles and briars, it's like jumping over a cliffside, and you guys are suddenly falling into a beautiful Caribbean ocean. Cerulean blues and vibrant oranges from the sands, and light fills every inch of this area. There's an alcove almost immediately to the side of you that once you hit the water or for those flying, are able to swim to or land and settle. And there's this, it's like this protected alcove of these dark red, orange, porous stones that have kind of built up, and this sliver of beach that you can comfortably sit in under the sun, warming you from the cold, chill, and unnaturalness of the cemetery you were last in.
You know that as we're like falling, Joe is screaming and cursing.
Yeah.
Probably gets a mouthful of seawater for her troubles.
Just float above the water.
Like bursts out sputtering and like cursing and
Can you swim?
yes.
Okay.
Are we there as well?
Yes, you do make it. You do make it to the beach scene also,
Okay.
but you are flying still. You
Yeah,
don't.
we're fine.
So just Mao and Joe get to be soaked.
Yeah,
Can Mao swim?
yeah. Val can swim mostly.
We're both like dog paddling back to shore.
So, because this has become a running gag on the channel, Mayor's gonna look
episode?
around. That too, and Mayor's gonna look and go, "Oh, I hate sand. It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere."
I mean, you don't have to go on the sand. You can just stay in the water. You know.
I'm gonna
water
just-
running around.
There's sand in the water
I'm gonna
too.
place Mare carefully on top of the sand and land myself.
Mayor's just gonna look at Tommy like, "The water's worse. This is fine." I mean, I guess, you know, we can't have the beautiful graveyard with, you know, the nice overcast sky and not glaring
Weird
sun.
angel guy. What was up with him, Faye? I thought you said he was a friend. What the hell?
Matt, Faye just looks sort of embarrassed, if an angel can look embarrassed. I thought he was. I made a mistake.
He was
And then
weird.
she realizes
He did
what
strange
she's
things
done.
to Joe and Mao.
I'm fine. Just
Oh,
like
he did
just
strange
like
things to all of
bringing
us.
her
I
ponytail.
dropped down onto my knee. I dropped down onto my knee in front of Mare, and I go, "Chosen one, please forgive me. I failed you."
Oh my god, Mayor's gonna get a huge ego. This is bad. Mayor awkwardly does like the head pat thing, like doesn't say please stop kneeling, but is very much just oozing that from her very essence, just being like, it's fine, pat. And just as
Our group
I
comfort each
don't,
other.
yeah, I don't really know what happened, but apparently, like I got in his head, and apparently he's terrified of me, so we should be fine.
I look
What
confused.
was his
God.
deal? Like, why did he do those things? I don't understand what happened.
The Mayor's also
Mao,
looking at
Were
Faye.
we all affected?
You now that you are no longer in the cemetery or around him, a lot of the heaviness of the grief and weight has been lifted. So you have like the residual tiredness of going through that, but you don't have those emotions anymore, or they're a faint memory.
I think he plays tricks on your mind. He wants to
Tricks?
stop us.
What was
Stop
that
us
last
from
part?
what? What are we even doing?
Oh, stop us.
The mission.
What mission?
I think we're getting food. I'll look around to see if there's coconuts in the trees or something, because it's a beach. I don't know.
There weren't initially, but as you think of it, trees are suddenly there, like out of the corner of your eye, and when you look, they're
Oh, hey.
there.
Coconuts.
and they do
I'll fly up to
coconuts.
get one.
Those weren't there before.
Sus. Super sus.
What? It's a beach.
I don't trust
Beaches have
magically
palm
appearing
trees and coconuts.
food.
What do you mean? It was always there.
It was not.
Trees don't
They just
go
seems really
appear out of nothing.
withdrawn from everyone.
Mare's staying close to Faye, just sort of like hand on the shoulder, trying to. I mean, she's really not great at comforting people, but she's trying. Is kind of what she's doing with Faye. And she does comment on something that I forget who it was said. Something about it getting in your head or messing with your mind. So she's like, yeah, I was asleep for part of that whole thing. What exactly happened?
Faye like flagged him down, I think, and then he said he could help because we're tired and hungry and
He
hopeless.
offered us marbles.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with the marbles.
I
Maybe
thought
like
he was
some
a
sort of
friend.
like food.
I
pill
thought he
or
was a
something?
friend. I was mistaken. Please forgive me. But
Hey,
I say
You're
that,
fine.
but I
You're
do. I seem angry. I'm a bit like,
Yeah. The Mare's just still patting Faye on the shoulder, like it's fine, dude. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're good.
He basically
made
told
me
me to stop
see
clinging to, this.
Wait,
Joe
you
kinda
need to
like-
see things.
yeah, Joe kind of like zeroes in on Faye when she says that.
Hmm.
yeah, he made me see things.
I saw a lot of unpleasant things in his head. What did he make you see?
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
It wasn't real. I was human for a second, but that's not true. That's never been true.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know. He showed me things from my past that I didn't particularly enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if perhaps he does illusions where he gives you just a little bit of the truth in it to make it feel real and then twists it maybe.
What
Mayor,
about
as
you,
you
Ma?
were
angel.
What?
I am just an angel.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
never been nothing but an angel.
You're an angel. We know. It's okay.
You got the wings and everything.
Yeah, like humans can't turn into animals or summon them.
I turned into a pig, but ghostly.
That's Tom isn't human either, technically. Not mortal.
Before Mao answers your inquiry, Paladin.
I'm next to her. I'll have given her the coconut.
Before
I
we
don't
get
need
to
it.
that, Mayor, something that you would remember in your visions of going through the mind is that flip book and people with the marbles. And the only consistent thing of any of those people with the marbles is that they're placing it in their mouth like a gumball or like a pill.
Mm.
Um,
She'll mention that to everybody. Yeah, like the things that I saw were these people that were like not in a great space mentally. Were like, or it didn't seem to be. Were eating those marbles or putting them in their mouth. It all
Alright.
seemed bad.
We
Not-
should
not
Probably
not good.
avoid him if we can
No one
in
eat
the
the marbles.
future.
forbidden
Especially since we
marbles.
got coconuts now, so that's not a problem.
Those are not real.
I don't know.
Mao's gonna like shake the coconut and be like, this feels really real. It does. And like find a rock and like sit with her legs around the rock and just like beat the coconut. And like there's a forceful show of comedy. She's almost trying too hard to be like silly or clowning off, and she's just like got this coconut and finally it breaks and she's like, and like lifts it up and like slurps some of the coconut juice it like all over her face, and then she's like, oh yeah, here.
I'm a ghost.
Faye abruptly stands up, sees Mal, and goes, "Are you hungry?" and throws a fish at her. She just wants to change the subject.
Mal
I
is
thought
like,
angels were supposed to teach
"Whoa."
people to fish and not just give them fish, but okay.
I'm gonna make a fire. I know how to do
I feel so
that.
clever.
You nailed
That's
that.
quite good. That's quite good.
That was fantastic.
Uh,
Okay.
I've got flint in my belt if we need.
Perfect. I'm gonna go and get some of those fronds. Hey Tom, can you help me?
Sure. Are you okay? Because I did the thing, and you feeling all right, Mao?
And like her expression gets really hollowed for a minute, and then she like physically shakes herself out of it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be great. Sorry for lashing out at you. I feel really bad about that."
No, it's normal. I mean, it's fine. You sure you're okay? Because we maybe if you're not, we could help.
I will be okay.
All right, and you don't have to tell us what you saw because of the weird guy if you don't want to.
Yeah, I probably am not going to tell you.
All right. That's okay.
Did Mao go a little
I'm sorry.
coconuts?
Yes. Mao is going to rapidly change the subject by saying, "Thanks, Tom. You're great. I love you. Help me with these fronds. I'm going to make a fire and we're going to cook some fish."
Mare pulls
I'll
out
also
her...
try to snap out of it and help her out.
Cool.
Mare pulls out her taser and goes, I think I could start a fire with this.
Can
let's
you
try with the
fire
flint.
with the taser?
I mean, it's a spark.
Is it the right kind of spark?
Technically,
A huge utility belt, and you don't
I'll
got
try with the
matches?
flint first, and I'll let you know.
You've got like 50 pockets on that thing and no matches? Really?
Oh, wait, no, I have a
lighter?
lighter. Never mind.
There
She
you
pulls out a
go.
lighter. I forgot about that. It was below
Listen.
the fold on the sheet. So I just
Even
scrolled
if
up and was like, oh.
Even if I did have matches, I just got dropped in the ocean.
All right.
I forgot she's got a lighter and hairspray.
All right. All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna go find rocks to make a proper fire pit then.
All right. I think Mare, seeing everyone so uncomfortable about their things that they saw, is going to do something a little bit uncharacteristic, and it's going to be very awkward for her. But she's going to be like, so, I saw, like, this might make you feel better about your experiences. I saw myself as a child, and my parents used to dress me up really girly, and I was very not okay with it. Like fluffy pink dresses and
I'm sorry.
ribbons.
I'm sorry.
So that's what I saw.
Wow,
And you can
must
tell,
have
like,
really
she's-
hated that.
She's really trying to bond with the group, and she's being very awkward about it and just
Mal's
blurting
got
stuff
this
out.
armful of fronds that Tom has helped her pluck off the tree, and she's walking back, and she's like, "Oh, I bet you look like a cupcake." And she sits down next to Faye and hands Faye one of these fronds, and she's like, "Help me pull this apart for kindling."
And
And
she's like,
they would just look at Mare like this, like, hmm? And then
it was horrible. Just,
Why though? I mean, it's just a color and it's just a dress.
but it's not
Sometimes these things matter to people.
me. Yeah, it's not me though. It's
Right.
like imagine if you had to be like Ghost Pig instead of Ghost Tom, all the
Yeah,
time.
all the time. Yeah, no, that'd be bad.
Yeah, like I like some of that stuff. It's okay, but um yeah, it's not fun when you're being forced to do it.
No,
Uh,
that's true.
Joe will go over to Mare and like give her a little pat on the shoulder, be like, "I'm glad that you found your you."
Yeah.
Or just
It
sort
takes
of
a
like
while.
does the awkward nod like thanks and uh just stands in awkward silence for a moment, not really sure what else to say.
Mao has an anecdotal response as she's like trying to pull the fronds apart. She's like, "Yeah, I get that. My family sent me to Thailand and put me in a monastery. I was supposed to be a monk." And she just laughs about it.
Mary
I
gets
saw
like
some
this
stuff
tiny
about
little
monks
bit
on
of a
TV.
yeah, just this tiny little bit of a smile, and looks at Mao and goes, "You would be a terrible monk."
I know, I was a terrible monk. They kicked me out.
Oh, how
They
come?
tried, not without trying. I did some really terrible things. I mean, not like angel guy terrible, but like I had party guests over and I may have spilled sacramental wine all over one of their prayer rooms, and I broke a couple of statues, and every time we went to the city I always got, a split lip because I can't help it, I pick fights.
Hmm.
And then they were just like, maybe
You
you're
pick
not for
fights?
us. Yeah. I was a bruiser once. She puts her fists up and is like,
I'm gonna look at her hands to see if, like, can I tell that she's a
you
fighter?
can. You can
Okay.
tell.
Yeah.
The backs of her knuckles are all scar tissue. One of her fingers doesn't actually bend the right way. Yeah.
Look at my own hands, which are just nothing.
While this is happening, Faye's just sort of standing alert, on guard, and looks out into the ocean.
The ocean is beautiful. So you didn't realize the passing of time, but you're at the tail end of a sunset.
Yeah, I'm just guarding.
Big billowy clouds like the ones in my painting there stretch across in golden tones and soft peachy hues as the sun is just disappearing over the horizon, and for just a moment that beautiful Caribbean ocean looks like molten gold, and it is so beautiful. It gives you like a peace, a knowing that whatever was or is will be okay, despite what Azrael told you.
This place is nice.
On that note, by the way, we hit 10 retweets on the tweet, so yes, you
Ooh.
also get a D6.
Wow! I got all the things. Not like I need them right now.
So it's all gonna be okay, but also, yeah, it's just got a D6 that can use against us. It's fine.
Some of your roles have been so sad that I have felt guilty giving you punishment.
No, we signed up for a horror game.
Okay. Do we want to go on a break now or in like 10, 15 minutes, by the way, with that segue?
I'm good either way.
Yeah, it's fine.
I vote no.
Now sounds
Okay.
good.
Perfect.
Oh.
Take a breather. Come back. I'm going to eat some lunch.
Yeah. Whew, sorry,
Yeah,
I had
get
to
that
yawn
lunch.
right that second. So we're gonna take a 15-minute break. Go stretch your legs, grab snacks, hydrate, all that good stuff. But then come right back here in 15 minutes because we'll be right back. There we go. We're back.
Yay! So we last left our players on a beach, starting a fire so that they could cook some fish that Faye had thrown at Mao. They seem to be working towards recovering, or at least covering up the trauma of their first time meeting this angel character. And yeah, so Mao has set about starting the fire. It's the sun is just after setting. You can see a smattering of stars in the sky above you that looks like it could be the Milky Way, but probably isn't. And for a time, you are all at peace.
I'm gonna go swim.
Okay.
So I'm gonna float through the water.
All right.
That's the plan. To see what's down there.
Don't get
I don't
too
think
far.
this character's ever been to the ocean, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye because I'm looking into the ocean, over the ocean. I'm gonna start keeping an eye on Tom.
Okay.
When nobody's looking, Mary's gonna pull out that tin of cakes that she took and just see if there's still cakes.
They are not still cakes. You have opened it up, and instead, what you find is absolutely horrifying. Instead of the cakes, you do know that the amount of cakes that you picked, everything is still partitioned as it should be. But everything looks like amalgamous flesh and muscle with maggots and flies crawling around between the layers of it. There are very, very garish disease-like qualities about the skin and the flesh, and everything seems to very, very faintly expand and contract like it's breathing.
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
She's just gonna close that back up real quick. And just gotta make a like, yep, I fucking knew it kind of.
Do you
kind of,
share this
noise.
information with Mao at all? Or
I was
you just...
given that Mal ate some of that. I think Mayor's gonna practice the better part of discretion and just not mention it. She's gonna hold on to the 10 though, because that might come in handy later.
Flesh cakes.
Yeah. Might be
Would you
useful
like some
later.
corruption?
Nurgle inspired, anybody?
It's sugar free.
Oh god.
Grossing myself out now.
Ugh.
And Jill, what are you doing?
Probably just finding something to tinker with and like leaning against the cave wall, hanging out in the firelight.
Can you describe what you're tinkering with? You have your backpack full of stuff or your watches?
Yeah, probably the same watch that earlier turned into a door.
All right. So this watch is still kind of busted. Like, do you set on fixing it?
Yeah, I'll probably try and fix it.
All right.
Like, great, you turned into a door and now you're broken.
Faye, you're looking over the ocean that Tom has just gone for a casual spectral stroll through. And you see nothing of alarm yet. The way the clouds are sitting are actually almost hypnotic. The sound of the waves crashing. And it just feels strangely relaxing. And you almost feel tired. And this isn't a sensation that you felt for a long time because you're an angel. You don't really get tired or hungry. But here you are, feeling the first dregs of exhaustion.
I'll look over my shoulder and check one there.
Mayor's just just chilling, totally not looking uh guilty or anything.
Mao's still like carving up coconut chunks next to you, humming to herself very loudly. Tom, the ocean looks fairly moderate for an ocean, like what you would think of when you look through your textbooks on ocean biography. And you very quickly reach the shelf, or the first shelf where the waves usually break. And it kind of drops down about 40 or 50 feet, and you can see the ocean floor, mostly devoid of plant life. There's plenty of debris and like silt that is kicked up because this area seems to be constantly under tow. Ocean jokes.
What sort of debris?
Love it.
What was that?
What sort of debris?
You get like bits of shell, some full shells, a couple of fishy corpses, so like small, like palm sized, like, and if you happen to go and check it out, you find that it's like goldfish corpses,
I
like
don't know.
what
Like,
you might have
for all I know,
kept.
this is normal. I don't
Yeah.
know anything about oceans. So I'm going to
There's-
pick out 4 shells that are, not ugly or broken. And I'm going to
Okay.
bring
Can you
those
tell
back.
me a little bit about each shell that you've picked up?
Like, all I care about is that they're not broken or hideous.
Okay.
Or like got a creature in them.
Okay.
I feel bad.
find
And I'm going to fix it by giving people gifts. Thus restoring the
Aw.
balance of karma.
the shells you find are fairly unremarkable looking. You are able to pick up like the lionfish clam shells, the big paw clam shells, with the little stripes in them. You find a mostly intact abalone shell. You find several shell life that's still alive and kicking around in this trench. You find another lion paw, and you find a coil, like a extra large snail shell, kind of a crab shell. That's right. I know about ocean biography,
I don't.
biology.
So I'm going to pick out the nicest. And I'm going to give that one to Joe. So I'm going to fly back. And we like... I went for a swim. I got everybody a shell. There's a bunch of shells in there. Here you go. And this one's for you.
It's so
And here you
sweet.
go. And here you go.
Cute.
And I'm just gonna like really quietly sit near the fire.
I don't quite understand this, so I pick up a rock and hand it to Tom.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just
But
gonna
you
spend
don't
time
know
like
about
running
shells.
my hands.
Because there's got animals in them, and you're like the angel of animals, so you should know about shells, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you.
You should have gotten Fey one with an animal still in it.
Right. That would be good. You want to go back? I mean, there's plenty down there. I saw a bunch.
I'll leave them in the ocean.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say Tom got one for Mayor?
Yeah. Everybody gets one.
Okay.
Aw.
I think Mayor just does the equivalent of an avocado. Thanks. Setting it aside.
But it's
Just like
it's
a
not
shell.
An avocado, it's a shell.
Thanks. She doesn't say avocado. She's like a shell. thanks, and just sort of like sets it down next to her stuff. Just
Mao
kinda
is very
gives it a little pat.
Mao is very grateful, and she's kind of wearing like big poofy cargo pants, and she puts the shell very gingerly into a very specific pocket.
Yeah,
these
my
cargo pants.
goes into my
Into your arm.
visible.
Sleeve of holding.
Yeah, so you're holding it.
So
Thanks for that follow, level 1 geek. Appreciate that.
yay! So when you, Faye, when you put in your shell into your arm, you do, you see that picture of water and the mercury droplets that are now tattooed on you as your arm of holding. And you really haven't taken a look at it, but you can still see the reflections of those hands in those mercury droplets.
The ones I saw before with
With the bowl.
Yep, when you had poured the liquid into the bowl. The seeing those droplets and recognizing that there's a reflection of your hand or of multiple hands in the mercury that you had swept up or tried to catch kind of jogs a memory or a thought. And it is not often that your God calls upon you for sacrifices, but in this thought, you believe that these hands might be a symbol in which they're asking for something, they're grabbing at something, and perhaps your gods would be satisfied if you let the hands grab something and take it back to wherever their world is.
How about we give it the flesh cakes?
Good call.
do I know what
Love that.
do I know what I should sacrifice?
You know that when the gods ask for sacrifice, it's usually something of value, something that means something, a token of some sort or a memory. Or even a feeling.
A feeling. Okay.
Or more than
It's
a feeling.
exactly where my brain went.
Good one. Good one.
Everything I can not to break out into song.
It's so hard.
I'll offer this grief I was feeling before.
Okay, perfect. So to do this, you do need to pull the seer bowl and what your mercury droplets are from that out of your arm and give it an offering.
Okay. So I'll put the bowl in front of me. Sit onto
Oh,
the
we're doing
sand.
this again.
I'll sit down into the sand. I'll sort of jiggle the bowl so it stays put in the sand. And on my left hand, one of my fingers is gonna become like a tiger claw. And I'm just gonna very unceremoniously slice my palm open and let it drip into the pot into the bowl.
Where are you in relation to the other players?
I'm still facing the ocean.
Okay.
So I'm guessing everyone's behind me.
Yeah. So most of you would just see Faye drop to her knees. You wouldn't really know what's going on. Do any of you approach?
I don't know. Faye's doing weird angel stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's fair. Mal's the same. Mal's like, I'm doing this thing.
Also, Joe's distracted by trying to find every single like rivulet in the shell that she has been given, almost
Great.
meditatively.
I
So-
will, in my grief, let out a wolf howl. So that's
The-
what I understand as grief.
Melancholy
is-
wolf sound.
Definitely looking over at Faye, very concerned, going, Faye, you okay there? You doing some like weird blood magic looking stuff? Do we need to talk?
So after I've done with my howl, I'll look over my shoulder and just go. He asked for a sacrifice, like very nonchalantly, and then go back to what I was doing.
Uh-huh. Who did?
So this
Given what we
is
just experienced, I feel like these are valid questions from me. Who are you talking about? Sorry.
unfortunately Faye's not able to answer. Because as she looks over her shoulder at you, these spectral hands are rising up and out like tentacles with hands on the ends of them. And she turns back to look at these hands, and these ghostly arms and hands reach through her, and you can see like pinpricks of light cutting through her, not actually cutting, she's safe, plunging into the sand behind her, and you are kind of able to see these sparkles or flashes of light, and the hands pull something out of her, and in their hands, they're all holding kind of this energy together. You see something that almost looks like a pearl, very see-through, with kind of like a thick fluid swishing around in it, defying gravity. And these hands all gently wrap around it and pull it into the bowl, and the mercury settles. Now, Faye, you feel great. You don't feel that heaviness at all. You can sit with what you have seen and what you have experienced up until this point, and it's okay. It doesn't impact you. It almost like gives you a thrill. Like suddenly you feel unstoppable in the face of grief, and it's not a problem for now.
Are we going to talk about the spectral
I heard
hands?
that.
If my eyes glow a bit, and can I look a bit manic, like I'm
Oh yeah, definitely.
fine?
Like
Just start purring like a big cat.
yes, and everything
Why this weird
comes
stuff keeps
easy.
happening to us?
Nothing hurts right now.
Are we going to talk about the weird spectral hands, everyone?
Yeah, Mary's walking up to Faye and is just like, what weird angel drugs are you doing? What the hell was that just pulled something out of you? Communication, Faye, communication.
My eyes will focus back. And in a second, all those bowls and paraphernalia will disappear back into my wrist. And I'll just go, it's okay. I'm fine.
Oh, okay, denial, sure. What just happened?
My creator asked for a sacrifice. Blink, blink.
Mary's just doing this, like, exasperated face, like, glossing over a lot of what that entails. Sort of expression on her face. Right. What sacrifice? For what? When were you talking with this person? We're all here. Nobody else has come on the beach.
Is this like
You
one of
saw
those
him.
voice of...
Sorry, what'd you say?
You saw it. You saw a part of him. He took my grief. We're
I
safe.
saw you talking to a soup bowl and then a light show with weird hands just, acting like they're gonna pull the heart out of your chest.
That was him.
Your creator is a
Soup bowl?
tentacle hand soup bowl.
That's how he looks to you. He's keeping us safe. We're
You
safe.
might want to do a better job.
I suddenly feel like I understand atheists better.
And at that comment, Faye trying to look very, very annoyed. Man,
I'm assuming,
he kept us safe.
didn't he so if he's your creator, didn't he make the other angel?
And that guy definitely doesn't want to keep us safe.
Getting mixed signals here is all I'm saying.
Did I look confused? I don't know.
Damn it, Michael.
I don't know.
It's playing in my head now.
Yep.
Like
I know
scroll.
he guides me. He guides me. He brought me to you.
Okay, that's all good
Look
stuff. I'm
up.
just okay. Okay, that stuff's good. Just a little concerned because it pulled something out of you, and now you're acting very
No,
high.
actually, I think she's acting normal again.
But there's no like took the grief out of it. What are you talking about? Like, you just don't feel sad anymore?
Yes,
Yeah, that sounds like drugs.
I feel good. I've got my power
That
back.
also sounds like drugs.
Mhm.
If we see him again, that won't happen again. I'll stop him next time.
Okay.
I thought we agreed to run if we saw him again.
Let's not go near him ever again. How's
Well,
Mao during all of this? Because this is super simple, similar to what I did. So
Mao has a lot of feelings right now.
Would you like to leave a message?
Mao stayed by the fire.
me too.
Oh, yes, also me.
So Mao has also saw what was going on and refused not to look up. Almost like turned themselves like away, like they quartered out so that all they would have to do is look away and not see Faye in their peripheral vision. Something about what Faye's sacrifice did and how it was presented unnerves Mao. And her way of coping with that is to hum louder.
Niall, it's our party
Dude.
specialty.
Yeah. I think
I'll
Mary-
stand up. I'll go to Mare.
Mhm.
I'll just put my hand on his shoulder and telepathically try and let you know that the creator's why I found you, meaning he'll also look after you.
Can I have you roll weird?
Before that happens, there is something else that Mara's going to say, and I think she's also going to have like the opposite shoulder hand on Faye's shoulder. It's like,
Can I roll
all right,
weird? Or shall I wait?
Yep.
yeah, like, all right, so look, I get it, the creator, you're the angel and all that stuff. Like, I don't talk about childhood much, but my parents were very into religion, and faith is good. Druggy religion bad. This seems more like the latter. Like faith is hey, I have this burden and I'm going to talk to someone higher than me to help me with it. Just plucking it away seems more like denial and really, really toxic positivity.
And I'll just say back, this is, you were human. You wouldn't understand. This is how angels communicate. Do not worry.
And
I swear to God, I thought for a second you were about to be like, "This is the way." I was about to lose
Me
it.
too. I was like right there.
so with Faye sharing that, the like making that magical connection and sharing the empathy in a means of understanding, Raven, you do receive that sensation, and you know that to Faye everything she said is true. There
Okay.
is no lie, there's no ulterior motive to what she's trying to do, and she believes that like that her god asked for a sacrifice and she has given it, and she benefits from this sacrifice is the bottom line.
Yeah. I think Mare's gonna like strongly recoil from that sensation. Um like possibly if actually yeah, she's just gonna like pull back and fall on her butt in the sand. Cause for Mare that's like like no, I need those feelings. They they give me power. Um so that sensation is very unpleasant to her. So she falls back in the sand, but nods and goes, "Okay, you seem fine. You do you. Was just concerned."
Are you hurt? Did I hurt you?
Oh no, I just um, the whole like fear and using anger and grief and things like that. That's kind of my thing. So an absence
I
of that is it's like the opposite. It's like the anti me.
I know. We complement each other. And she has this weird smirk on her face.
Or in the case of most matter and antimatter, you'd cancel each other.
Yeah. Mare looks at Joe and just does like a little nod, like tell me about it, but looks back at Faye and does like the in the like the buddy cop shows where you got the two polar opposite partners and the one who's kind of straight laced just does the sigh and the nod and gives a little smile.
The other is a
like,
dog.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah. That sort of like just resigned sigh but smile like, yeah, I guess we're friends. That's kind of the expression she has on her face as she looks over at Faye and goes, I suppose you're right.
So,
Mao is very loudly humming. I don't know what song, but it's a terrible rendition of it. Like humming so loudly that she's just about to break out into the la 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 la's.
Mao, is that fish done yet?
Mao like snaps up and says, "Oh yeah, the fish. Oh, I found this chest of like spices over by the trees while we were looking for Franz, and
What?
I have paprika and cayenne pepper and some sage, and these fish are going to be amazing."
Someone left a chest full of spices. That's weird.
Oh, but the randomly spawning coconut trees are not weird.
It was always there. There's supposed to be palm trees with
Excuse me.
coconuts on the beach.
Well,
At least I
whatever
think
it
so.
is, we're gonna eat like kings tonight. I do
I've
have
never
to.
actually been to the beach. Have you guys been to the beach?
I've lived in the city my whole life.
I
You
was
ever been there? Or
bummed
here?
on a beach for like 3 years.
One
What?
time.
What?
I lived on a beach. I was homeless for like a really long time.
The more we share backstories, the more I'm confused about the timeline of the world.
I think that's just Mao in general.
Time is like a river. But
Time is
Mare just looks at everybody and kind of does that I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyways tone. Like one time my parents tried to make our living room into a beach because they wanted to have a beach party. It was horrible.
how did they do that?
Is that why you hate sand so much?
I don't want to talk about it.
Mao's just gonna whistle and be like, "Man, your parents didn't work on you." And Mao sets out to begin carving up the fish, preparing them for eating. She found this little rock that's really mostly flat, and she set up a little grill, and they're now crackling fire, and she prepares the I'm pretty sure Faye only threw one fish at her, but she's going to puppy dog eyes and ask for more.
And I'll just like flick my wrist
I'm
and,
imagining like 5
No, no,
fish
no,
smacking her in the face in a row.
Like the
She
hot
just
dog
gets
game.
like hit with fish. It's like, I mean, you could have just put them in
Fish
by
can.
hand. Cool. We're all gonna have fish tonight. And so she gets everything prepped and spiced and puts dinner out on in the fire for it to cook. And she goes back to humming very terribly loud.
So where do we go from here?
I
She
think we just go to sleep. I mean,
ooh, I'll
me-
take my runes out.
Oh yes, because those have led us down to some very pleasant places.
I'll glare at
runes
Joe.
like the marbles.
No, it's okay. You do it. You tell us what horrible thing we're going to experience next.
Yeah, I'm making that dog warning noise at her.
Well, her.
It's fine. I'm
So
being sassy. We're all on
roll
edge.
your dice.
Yeah, I shall throw my runes onto the sand to see if
Don't
we can
lose any.
get a clue from
Nice.
my boss from beyond.
Would they even roll
Alright,
properly
roll for
in
it.
sand?
You want me to roll boss from beyond or weird?
Depends on if you want to make another sacrifice down the line or not. Remember, Boss from Beyond costs. Weird is just magic.
I don't mind. Which one would you like me to roll? I don't mind.
Let's roll Boss from Beyond, and I'll
Oh
give
God,
you
why?
more information than I had intentionally planned on
Yay!
giving you.
Yay, more angel drugs later.
We're having a good time.
So you let me double check. Where did my thing go?
Next success. Since we don't know what.
So you are able to ask a question. It could be whatever question, and they will answer it. Is it just what's next?
Yeah, it'll be like where do we go from here? Which way? Point.
So
I'm just
you
imagining Faye shouting at her ruins.
you shake up your coins or your runes, sorry, and you cast them into the sand. And your runes tell you that there are that you need to search out for torches.
Okay.
But the way that torches is implied in your runes is ambiguous. Like, it's not specifically torches, but it's something like torches. And there is an additional note that says something along the lines of bide your time.
Okay. So where can
And
find some torches?
yep. And your sacrifice is unclear to you right now. The gods will call upon that when they see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Faye over here just racking up debts.
She's paid her debts up to this point.
Oh, now it's just new
Husk
debts.
of an angel now.
Yeah.
Fear.
Anything for the mission.
You gotta get you
Okay.
some like self-worth.
So I'll say we need to find torches, but we're not in a rush.
Like tiki torches?
Got a lighter.
Well, we've already
Lights
found that
might
then.
work.
Why though? We have a
Oh
campfire.
wait, hold on. Mary's gonna pull out her what was it, like the Lisa Frank punk rock wand from earlier, and just see if she can make it like well, not exactly like a flashlight, but like what's the spell called?
Like light?
Yeah, like mage light. Like it's like a
Mage
little
light?
ball of light
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
follows you around. See if she can do that with it.
Can I have you roll weird and a d6?
Sure.
Or an additional d6, I guess.
Yeah, I have concern about D6. Oh hey.
Oh my god.
Oh, all right.
Very
So
good.
that's 12 and a 6.
Impressive. All right.
There is super successful.
Dang.
There's no danger right now, so of course we're rolling well.
So you pull this wand out and you do your bippity boppity boo for your mage light, or however it is that you do it. And from the tip of it, almost like sparkling fairy dust. Like it's painfully cute and adorable. This fairy dust, like shaking glitter out of a canister, kind of floats up into the air and coalesces together to make this tiny little purple orb. And the orb just sits there and kind of hovers and bounces.
Perfect.
I think Mayor's gonna let herself enjoy this just a little bit, despite it being glittery and stuff, and just look at everybody and be like, friendship is fucking magic.
I like it. Mao seems to be returning to herself, and she's like, "Fuck yeah, friendship." Wow, still not looking at Faye at all. She's just like,
Jay,
like
I love this. Jay just said Mayor could have some glitter as a treat.
Faye notices this, and I just materialize another fish and I shove it in Mao's face. So I don't understand why she's ignoring me.
Do we start like drying these?
The fish have all been, the fish up until this point were prepared for dinner, and they're just currently cooking on your makeshift grill. Mao just like jumps, like you've just like inserted this fish into her little world, and she's just like, oh, and it like wiggles and slaps her. She's like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
That's so horrible. Why?
and she looks at you and she looks back at her feet. She's like, thanks. And she lifts it up to her mouth and she goes, like Smeagol? Like bites into it and goes,
Whoa!
Don't eat it raw. What the hell? You made a bunch with spices and everything. What are you doing?
Faye looks very pleased with herself. Faye's like, very pleased.
Oh my goodness.
Mao still won't make eye contact with you, but she's accepting you for a
All right,
moment.
I'm gonna find some sticks so we can make torches, and I'll go out. I won't fly. I'll walk.
Mare, do you do anything else with your magic wand?
I think that's it. Just gonna have this
Okay.
this glitter light follow us around.
So Tom, you go for a walk. The cove isn't particularly big. Is there a direction that you walk in?
I don't think I've been paying super close attention to anything, so I'm just gonna look around. I'm just gonna look at the ground and just wander,
All right.
looking for torches, or
Um,
sticks that could be torches.
Can you roll sharp for me?
Sure.
Joe, what are you doing at this time?
I literally have just been thinking about how Joe is probably going to like back to Mao, like lean against her back with Joe's back and be like, so shotgun need tuning or are you good? Joe attempting to take Mao's mind off of things in the only way she knows how.
Mao kind of stops and looks at you and like in this very sly manner, and she's like, I can't tell if that's a euphemism.
What? Oh, no. Joe is bright red immediately. Like, no, I noticed you had a gun, and I like guns. I mean, you're also cool. I just want to make sure your weapons are working fine.
Mel laughs and she's like, you're good.
Weapons.
You're good. You're fine. I'm teasing you. Yeah. Shotgun does need tuning. Probably some polishing and maybe some protective sand coating or anti-sand coating. And she pulls her weapons out of her backpack, and just like before, like it doesn't make sense the fact that like this long ass shotgun is stored in this tiny little
I have a
shoulder
hammer
backpack.
space briefcase now. I have to just accept certain levels of things.
So she pulls her weapons out. She has a shotgun and 2 handguns, and of course, cleaning towel that she lays out. And she's like, "Well, bring your weapons over. Come on, food's not going to be ready for another 15 minutes." And she'll sit with you and clean weapons, which is a perfect means of taking her mind off of stuff. Tom, I'm sorry, but you don't find any sticks yet. In fact, you feel like you haven't really, like you're not paying attention. Your feet are just taking you somewhere. And time passes. You lose the ring of firelight or the glow of firelight against rocks. Almost like somehow you took a wrong turn. And when you realize that and you look up, you find that you are standing in a narrow passageway through the rocks that's kind of twisting and turning. It's about as wide as you stretching your arms out from fingertip to fingertip, but no wider, and doesn't seem to get any wider than that. And the further you have gone, the darker that is got. Not the weird dark, but just a
think I'm gonna
natural
go in there.
darkness.
I don't want to go that far away from everybody.
So you turn around
Yes.
and you start making your way back. For the group, Joe or Mayor Mao, God damn it. Mao and Hannah finished with their guns, and Mao is getting ready to serve dinner, and she stands up and she's like, Tom! And as she calls out, it becomes very apparent that Tom is no longer in this cove. Like, he
Tom?
just walked off. And Mao like shouts again, Tom, where'd you go? Unfortunately, Tom, you can't really hear them. You seem to have walked far enough away that you can hear the shouting, they're shouting, which you assume is more like muffled chatter, but you can't hear what they're saying. You don't know that they're calling for you. Do you just continue to head back the way you came?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back at a reasonable pace.
So as you're going back, can I have you roll sharp again?
It's my worst roll. He's not
And
that
you
sharp.
go level up.
This is my best roll.
Yep. Power up.
Unfortunately, you don't notice the sound of footsteps behind you. Sorry, I had to mention that.
That's
Oh
fine.
my goodness!
And as you're you're walking back what you assume is the way that you came. Um, you find yourself walking for a long period of time, just like on the hill and in the underground tunnel, where time and movement seems to hold still. You have walked around these bends and these curves, and it almost feels like you're passing the same bend and curve every
Hmm.
time. There is a little bit of the lightening, like the light lightens as you're moving, but that is the only distinction that anything has changed, is the amount of light.
I'm gonna stop and look around.
And as you do stop and look around, you there's like a gust of wind that kind of pushes itself through the cave, and it's dim light. Shadows are everywhere. It's kind of hard to tell, but for just a moment you thought that there might have been some kind of animal in the cave with you for just a moment. It bound out of sight just before you could look at it.
Okay, that's not good.
Have me and Mare noticed this, or are we still at the campsite?
Yes, as Joe
That's where the animal is, right? In the cave with them.
we're in a cove. We're not a cave. You have walked a distance and somehow managed to end up in a passageway in the rock.
But I don't want to go in the passageway in the rock. I want to go out of the passageway.
Already.
Uh-oh.
You'll get there. I believe in you. You'll
I'm
figure
gonna
it
fly
out.
up because I feel like I'm lost somehow. So I'm gonna go up.
Like I walked in one
Mare
direction.
And Faye, you definitely you notice like one of your party members is just like gone somewhere, not in the cove that you have settled down in. And so Tom, you begin to kind of climb up, and this cave is a lot like a slot canyon. The higher you go, the more it pushes, and as you kind of reach towards the walls, when you reach out, like your hands should go through them, the walls give off a little pulse and light ripples across everything, and you find that you cannot go through the rock. The passageway as you go upwards gets more and more narrow, tapering down until you feel like you are crawling upwards through these rocks. Do you continue or do you go back down?
No, this is scary. I'll go down. I'll try to fly towards the exit normally again. Like I was walking before, but now I'm full speed fly.
So as you're zipping through this, a sound catches your attention, and it's the Beverly Hills theme song.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I'm just like, what?
Do you stop or are you still zipping?
Yeah, I'm stopping because that's very weird.
You slow down. As you slow down and kind of take in your senses again, you realize that there appears to be a butler standing up against one of the walls.
What?
This butler is a little strange because you're
Besides the fact that he's in a cave.
right? You're pretty sure that butlers shouldn't have tails. And that anything with more than one
butlers
tail
do
is
have
questionable.
tails. That's normal. That's super
Okay.
normal.
All right. But this particular butler with an animal tail has more than one animal tail. And this butler also wears a top hat. The top hat is pulled so far down across his face that all you can see is his mouth. And when he turns his face to you, he smiles, and all you see is a Cheshire grin of shark teeth. And the butler says, "Oh, I've got the door for you, sir, and reaches out to the rock wall and opens up a door in the rock face that would walk you into a new room or new area or atmosphere.
I'll look in the door. Like, does that lead back to my friends?
This is where the Beverly Hills theme song is playing from. You recognize
I don't
the
really
worn
know if I want to
carpet.
watch more Beverly Hills 90210 because I kind of already watched all of it. I'm just gonna go this way because my
And
friends are over there, right?
the butler says, "Of course," and your friends are worried about you. And he closes the door very slowly, and he
Okay, thanks.
says,
Bye.
"You leave the butler in the dust, I assume."
Oh yeah.
You sit
Booking.
back. So the Mao and I assume Hannah in turn has become very agitated and concerned. They're like shouting and looking for you, and you just like you whip around this corner as fast as absolutely possible, and suddenly you're standing back near your palm trees with the coconuts, and it's like he just appeared suddenly, almost out of thin air. And Mao is like breakneck run towards
Oh yeah,
you. Like, where
Joe's
did
gonna
you
like
go?
try and tackle him.
Okay.
But he's a ghost, so
Yeah. And I'll try to stop in time to collide with them, to not collide with them. So it's just an awkward pileup.
Yes. Do you look back at where you came from?
Hell no. First, I'm gonna hide behind everybody, and then I'm gonna peek out. Like, that was a weird shark guy over there with tails and a door.
there was a
and head.
what?
Oh yeah, no, there's a weird guy over there.
Over
Behind the door,
where?
though. I
You
don't know
just
if
you just appeared out of nowhere.
I was stuck in some sort of cave thing, and I couldn't get out. It was super scary. Ugh. And then that shark guy showed up and was like, "Oh, you want to go through the door? I got this door for you, buddy."
Yeah, we don't
And then
go
he
through
opened the
doors
door, and there was a
alone.
weird song from Beverly Hills 90210, and I didn't want to go into the room. And I tried to get back here, and then I was here. Oh God, that was scary. I thought I was gonna lose you guys.
It's okay. You're here. Everyone's okay.
Okay.
Faye's going to try and sense if there's any more angels around.
You do not sense angels around.
Do I sense animals around?
You sense like, beach life. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Find any torches.
Mao does draw one of her weapons and goes to the wall that you were closest to, and then does this dance like in front of the wall.
What you got?
Optical illusion.
Oh God. Can we have dinner first?
I would love to eat dinner, but just come look at it. There's nothing down there.
No,
Just
no,
come look
no.
at it.
I'm
And
coming.
he's
This is how the
and
weird
she-
stuff starts. Let's go back
No,
to the
no,
place with
like,
the food.
just-
and the
It's
wall.
okay. It's okay. We're just gonna look. We're just
She
gonna look.
stands
We're not
there
gonna
and
go
she
anywhere.
shows
That's how
you.
all the
She's
bad
like, stand
stuff
right
happens.
here
Oh, God.
and do
Okay.
this. And you do that, and it's like watching a hologram shift, and you can see the hallway that he had wandered down. But
Mayor, I would like you to come see this.
Yeah, Mare's coming to look at it and like trying to move the light ball around to see how that changes things.
the rock wall on one side does cast a shadow, and it becomes more apparent that it's there. It's just the texture of the rock walls looks so similar that it blends together.
Hmm.
So without knowing what to look for.
Also, out of character, I feel like the energy that the party has right now is everybody but Tom is like, how would they know? And Tom's just sitting here like, they're gonna know. But yeah, Mayor's gonna do that and then go like, huh, food.
Yeah, let's food first.
Okay, good. Okay. Everybody back to the fire and the warmth and the food. Okay, let's go.
And Mao will serve you all dinner. After dinner, Mao poses the idea of like, hey, maybe we should sleep before going anywhere.
Yes, y'all need sleep.
I mean, I'm pretty human, and I'm tired, and now I'm
are
full
a
of
pretty
fish.
human.
Hey,
He told us to bide our time.
That,
That's
sleeping
idea.
sounds like biding our time.
Yeah.
Sleep is good.
Will you make sure nothing
I always do.
will you wake us up if
I don't need sleep.
Absolutely.
I'll stay on guard.
can I have
Probably also sleep.
both Tom and Faye roll cool?
To stay awake, or what's this for?
Yeah, stay awake. Totally.
oh no.
I don't like the way you said that.
I didn't like those
That was
shifty
ominous.
eyes.
Yeah.
I'm way too expressive to be a DM, guys.
Wow, you're doing amazing. It just makes us even more suspicious.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Stay away.
So both of you you're sitting, everybody else gets to like lay down with a mat. Mao somehow produces like sleeping mats and like makes like a little like weird little cot thing to set up and sleep on. But then immediately offers it to Joe or Mare or anybody else who wants it because Mao doesn't really care.
Mare
just
seems to hate the
realized-
sand.
Yeah, but I just realized Mare just had a nap not that too long ago, so she'll probably be up for a little while.
Okay, can I
I mean,
have
it wasn't
you
a
roll,
nap. It was not a long nap.
can I have you
And
roll
then-
cool?
She doesn't sleep a lot. Roll
Ah.
what? Sorry.
Roll cool for me since you're staying
Yeah.
up.
I think she'll be like awake for like the first half of the first watch, and then she'll
Okay.
sleep.
Um,
Well, depending on what happens.
Ooh, 7, 8, 9.
nice. All right, so Joe and Mao go to sleep.
Before everyone actually does go to sleep, I have a thing I
Yes.
want to do. So everybody's starting to settle, and I'm also going to settle, and I'm going to play my guitar. Because I have that
Ooh.
now. I have the guitar
Oh,
strings
yeah.
into my ghost guitar. So
Ooh.
I'm going to, like, that's how I'm going to, like, spend a little time. And as I just randomly play music, I'm going to start playing I'm Still Standing, and I'm also going to sing it. And I'm going to, like, normally I would sing this, but I can't because copyright stuff.
I know.
So imagine me singing it and doing a halfway decent job, and I'm gonna get super passionate towards the thing because this is a surviving song, right?
Yes, it is. Mao sleeps better with your serenade of hope. Everybody actually feels significantly better, especially after you're playing your song. And a calm sort of eases over. Now, as the night progresses, for our three that have stayed awake, you begin to recognize that there's this tiredness that sets on you. Faye, you'd recognize it as what you felt earlier. There's this calm, and though you don't need to sleep, you find you have a desire to sleep. However, with a little bit of self willpower, you are able to disregard that sensation.
Yep.
Do you continue to disregard that?
Yes, I continue to disregard, and I'm annoyed at myself. I'm like, this place must be something wrong with this place. I'm never tired.
Tom?
Yeah. If I'm actually starting to feel tired, that's what you're telling me, yes? I will actually
Yes.
start to feel tired? Yeah. Huh.
You haven't felt
I'll-
tired in however
yeah,
long you've been around.
I'll try it. I don't know. I'm gonna make a ghost bed. Give it a whirl.
All right. You find yourself, you are able to kind of turn off your conscious ghost mind and just chill out. Raven.
Oh yeah, Mary's just like, oh, all right. I guess I'm a little more tired than I thought, and she's just gonna curl up against one of those palm trees and pull her cloak over her head and everything, and just nap.
So, Faye, you find yourself very slowly the only person awake on this. The longer you persist, the more incessant the sensation to sleep is, but you are able to disregard it. It just, you feel sluggish because of it. And you don't know what time it is, but you've watched the stars sprinkle and come out and expand across the sky. And there's a slight whooshing of water being rushed from one area to another. And when you look at the ocean, the waves had parted. Not in some grandiose, godly scale, but almost like a pathway or a hallway has been lifted up out of the ocean, and you are given access to walk through this. The hallway structure seems to be made of opal and coral, with organic elements wrapping in and out of it, and everything shimmers. And as the moonlight touches it, it almost lights up. It emits a very faint glow.
Okay.
What would you like to do with that information?
I'm going to summon a dog and leave the dog there where I was.
Okay.
Dog's quiet for now.
Kind of dog.
And then I'm going to go and investigate. So I
Good
can then
dog.
tell the dog to wake people up.
Okay.
Thanks for that follow.
Yay, followers! So you go to investigate this, and this hallway that is seemingly appeared out of the ocean that you could walk through is sound. You can see the ocean waves gently washing over it. There's a little bit of water trickle here and there, but for the most part, it is this pathway that is carved out of the ocean, made of opal and coral, and it goes on for quite a distance. And before it bends and curves, and you can almost see, like a snake into the ocean, the pathway light up ahead of you.
Okay.
I don't like the last time we ended up on a snake.
Reoccurring animal element, sorry.
Do I sense any danger of any sort?
You do not sense any danger of any sort.
Okay. I'll keep going. Trusting that I can fly back with my angel wings when I see fit.
Okay.
Well, that's what Faye thinks anyway.
Yeah. So as you're going along, you eventually come to a ballroom. There's several stories high. You don't know how deep in the ocean you are. You can see the faint light of the moon above you, somewhere above the water, and there's enough light to keep the structural integrity lit up of this place. And in the middle of the room, there is a man in long black tailcoat and a black top hat.
Okay.
And it's only him, and he offers you a hand and says, "Would you care to dance?" And all you can see is from his mouth down. There's only shadow between the rest of his face and his hat.
I'm still not sensing any danger.
You are not sensing any danger.
I take his hand.
and he will dance you to a waltz that makes both your skin crawl, but at the same time, like gives you that same thrill that you experienced earlier when you gave up your grief. That rush of sensation that comes with you. And it's like you dance and dance and dance and never feel tired until you begin to see the warmth of the sun rising, and he gives you one last spin and dips you, and suddenly you are falling back to the sand on the beach.
So I'm suddenly
Such
just on the
cool
beach.
imagery.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Dang.
Oh.
And sun is now rising.
Yeah.
And with that, I believe that that's a pretty good end to our
Yeah.
session
Yeah.
today.
I wanted to hear about it.
What an awesome episode.
Yay.
I want
Yay!
to dance with the mystery man.
Yeah.
It's very
I would dance with
elaborate.
Mystery
I
Man
loved
now.
it.
Yeah,
Sure
I was like, hey, this is a really cool ending when we were all back at camp, and like there's this cool tunnel for us to check out later, and then you're like, no, I'm just gonna like crank that ending up to 11.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I have some like really specific stones that I need to lay for you guys actually going through a storyline. Like you've been on your storyline, but now it's time to start giving you breadcrumbs.
We're really
got you.
getting into
I
it.
got you.
Oh, I want to.
I'm so
That's
excited.
really cool. Well, before we go on a raid, I'm gonna let everybody say their favorite part, where we can find them, and anything that they want to plug or anything like that. And we'll start with Yaz. All the usual questions.
I absolutely loved that Faye picked grief to give up. I was not expecting an emotional sacrifice. Like it kind of crossed my mind. I was like, it's probably gonna be like maybe like, some blood or whatever. And then you gave up grief. Boy, that's gonna come and get you later on.
Looking forward to it.
I really like that Tom is kind of the soft, gentle spirit, literally, that kind of keeps everybody kind of centered. And we got to see how impactful that is today with our thing. I absolutely love Joe for being like submitting to that human emotion with Azrael, and just being a clever trooper that's too tough and helping other people out, and Mare getting to play with her wand, and her facing off with the big bad guy. And let me tell you, that could have been so much worse.
I was fully
Why we have
expecting
luck.
it. I was like, all right, so Samira's gonna be, just thrown through a wall, like mentally or something like that. It's gonna be horrible. I was like, oh, okay, that actually wasn't horrible.
I absolutely legitimately prepared to like break your mind.
Well, we have that to look forward to later then.
Yeah.
We would have cranked up the intensity.
There's a lot of trauma to go through, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah.
That was my favorite spots. You can find me next week here, Wednesday. For Exodus, I will be playing Bambi. My favorite nickname for her is the Starlit Harlot.
Bambi's
Stuck.
great.
I can't get rid of it now. Or you can see my stuff on my website, which I'll post in the chat here.
Awesome. All right.
That's it.
Hannah, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you? Anything else you want to share?
I feel like it's a bit of a toss-up between like Mare using her own past and like stuff she doesn't like to try and connect to the team. Or Mao totally ribbing Joe. You all can find me. I'll be back tomorrow in the same time slot, the noon Mountain Time for Time Travelers, where I play Elizabeth, the magic user who does not know when to not use magic.
Fantastic. Anina, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share or plug?
Oh, that was a great episode. But that ending imagery in the ballroom, can I go back? Can I go back there now? I wanna know what happens. I'm a bit in love with Mystery Man. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I love that. You can go on my YouTube channel, The Awkward Actress, watch some comedy, watch a bit of dark drama as well, I feel, while you're there, depending on what you fancy. I'm going to post the link into the chat. Enjoy, and I'll be back here next week.
Awesome. Paladin, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Whole thing was my favorite. Everyone was so good. Dang, I think this is the best we've ever done, and we've done great pretty consistently, I think. So
Yeah.
and I had it picked out. I was thinking like, okay, this episode, the jar, right? The description of the horrible, gross stuff in there, that was the best. But then that closing scene with the dancing guy, I'm like, that's even better though.
Oh goodness.
Wow, what an amazing episode.
It makes it it's worse knowing who he is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Where you can find me next, I would appreciate if everyone could check out the thing I did on Little Red Dot's channel last weekend, where I played Dr. Wismo. I dispense sugar. And I had a really great time being a complete, really bad doctor, tiny robot. And we set out to blow up the captain because that's how you do things on a spaceship when you're an idiot and a tiny robot. Super fun. But actually, next week you can find me Sunday is over on Uncanny Adventures, where I play Holt, the pirate pilot, tries to make friends with all the evil pirates. We are still on the island somehow, still getting closer. Dangerous things in the water. Everybody's falling off cliffs because that's what you do in D&D when you don't have athletics. It's gonna be good. Gonna be a lot of stuff. The GM's prepared something weird, so that's good. And then I'm back on Polished's channel, hopefully, where I play Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble fighter. We had a lot of speeches last episode that we played to really get into everybody's head, which was good. And I'm looking forward to that again. And then I'm most excited about being back here again next week, where you should all be as well.
Awesome. That just leaves me. God, how do you pick a favorite part of this episode? It was so good. um, yeah, I really liked the description of what was in the 10 that used to be cakes, and that last scene was just incredible. Um, I really enjoyed the beginning also. Uh, Everyone's reactions to this scary angel being pretty different, which was really neat to see. Um, that that everybody reacted so differently, and all of them absolutely made sense, except, well, maybe Mayor's.
Sense.
It makes sense for her, I guess. But also, I really enjoyed not dying, because I totally thought Mare was about to just get completely wasted, and did not. So that was nice. Um, and yeah, all the bonding stuff was great too. And um, uh, you know how characters sort of form as you play them sometimes, and realizing like, oh hey, Mare and I have a lot in common. It turns out.
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, that was all of it was really good. Where you can find me next, I'll be back here in about a little less than 3 hours for In the Mouth of the Beast Below, where I'm playing Katanova, who's she's a Grendel, which basically she's kind of like a fawn, except the fur starts at like knee level. and she's got massive horns like Nicol Bolas from Magic the Gathering, if you know what that looks like. But she's a socialite anarchist. So she mingles with all the nobles and elites and everything, and sows seeds of discord and anarchy everywhere. It's fantastic. Um, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be in a little less than 3 hours, right back here. And then tomorrow we've got Time Travelers at noon and Animus at 6, and those times are Mountain Time Zone. Other things to plug, check out our other previous episodes and shows on the Fantasy Network. I will have links for where specifically to find us on there soon. Um, but in the meantime, just look up the Fantasy Network. It's all fantastic. There's tons of good stuff on that network. And then sponsors are Fundamental RPG and Intrepid, which will be in chat here. There we go. So second edition for Fundamental RPG is available for pre-order until the end of the month. After that, those prices will go up just a little bit. And the paperback prices that you see there on the site do include shipping, so you don't have to pay extra for shipping or anything like that. And that book should be releasing either end of this month or for first week in March, just depending on processing time for some stuff. But that's that. And then Intrepid is adventuring gear for real life. So if you like outdoorsy stuff, or if you like athletic wear, or even casual stuff, and want it to have an adventuresome theme to it, feel like you're a real life tabletop character, there's lots of cool stuff that you can check out there. And that's all at coffee.com/raven/shop. For now, we're going to go on a raid as mentioned. And just making sure that she's still alive. Yeah, we're going to go say hi to Tabletop Horde. Definitely give her a follow if you're not doing so already, because she's fantastic. And looks like she's playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And then we've got our raid cry, which is "Yay, more angel drugs later." Just great. Yeah, and that's everything. So I will see you all in just under 3 hours. Bye, everybody.